Hi, I'm Ben. Welcome to my channel. Today, I want to share a book that has a huge impact on my approach to sports, The Inner Game of Tennis, written by Timothy Gallwey. I picked this book because I used to be a total sport class. PE class was basically a never-ending cringe fest for me. Half of my most awkward school memory happened on that God-forsaken break field. It's kind of a bummer looking back, especially since deep down, I've always had this secret yearning for sports. I mean, have you ever watched athletes in high-pressure moments, the way they control their mind and bodies with their afternoon's strategies? I'm still looking for the win. That stuff gives me chills. I've always watched and experienced that for myself. Even if my past PE disaster made me feel like it was totally out of reach. Let's start on tennis courts. Anyone has played a racket sport probably knows that experience. You stand here, hold the racket, and the coach just give you a bunch of instructions and tips a second ago. You try hard to remember them, hoping you can do them perfectly. The next time you swing, you tell yourself, raise your left hand, louder your right shoulder, twist your body more than 60 degrees. Don't keep stepping back, go forward to meet the ball. With so many thoughts in your mind, the ball comes. You swing the racket and your brain goes blank. Then you come back to your sense. You find you still did hit the ball well. Feel so frustrated and say to yourself, I'm such a fool. I'm not in mood today. Maybe I have no talent. You look up to meet the cold eye when he asks you in slightly dissatisfied but very restrained tone if you know what your problem is. Coach, I know what my problem is, but I just can't do it. Why do you know what to do but can't do it? What's stopping you? This book starts with a super interesting insight here. Have you ever thought about who is speaker and listener are in that conversation just now? Who say, you're so stupid, you suck at tennis, you are not in the zone today? And who listen to these negative comments? Wait, is this my inner monologue? I tell myself like this every day, but no conversation happens out of nowhere. If we call the speaker in this dialogue shell 1 and the listener shell 2, you might realize that shell 1 is actually bullying shell 2. Yes, that's right, bullying. The part of you giving order is bullying the part of you trying to execute the actions. Exactly because the chatty cell one tries too hard, keeps imagining what others think, and stick a ton of negative labels on you that you end up in the I know what to do but can't do it chat. Why? Because taking action is Celtic's job. If you let cell one run its mouth during sports, letting it put down cell two, what do you think will happen to cell two? That's so-called self-fulfilling prophecy. So here's the things. Getting that chaotic someone is shut up and step back is actually the key to playing tennis well. Anyone who's tried meditating knows how hard it's to free your mind. Our thoughts just slip away without warning. 1 second you are focused, the next you lost a daydream mile away. What's the fix? The answer is let it happen. Wait, but this isn't about letting things fall apart or giving up. It's about trusting your body over your brain when learning sports. If your body knows what to do, let it do its thing without interference. If it doesn't know yet, let it learn. Also emphasize human instinct because sports aren't like academic classes. You don't need to use brain powers to memorize concepts or grasp abstraction. Movement is innate to us. Learning a sport should be like how we learn to walk and target skis. Think about it. When we were in infancy, we didn't tell ourselves first step with my left foot, then right, keep my body balance. Nope. We saw others walking, felt a sudden urge inside, stood up, stumbled, fell down, and with parents cheering us on, we got up and tried again. In this process of constant reforming, getting up, and trying to walk, you gradually adapted to balance and learned how to walk. The same goes for skill like language, cycling, or swimming. So instead of using your mind to first nag out, I should do this first, then that. You should first observe with your eyes. Imitate what you see, and during the imitation, pay attention to how your body feels and reacts. Adjust yourself as you go, and that's how you truly learn and master the skill. Why is this so hard for us now? A big reason is that we've been taught too many ways to use cell one since childhood. Our cell one has become so strong that it's almost uncontrollable, while we ignore cell two more and more as we grow up. But cell two has its own learning style, and we need to relearn how to communicate effectively with it. So, a skill no parents or teacher even taught us as kids. So, here's a new question. How do we communicate effectively with cell two? The book introduced so many methods, and the most straightforward one is visualization. Sport prodigy Aileen Koo said in an interview that she visualized herself performing a move before actually doing it. That's exactly the technique she used to tackle a never before tried feat on the Olympic big air jump and win gold. Most of the time, we aren't truly seeing with my eyes or listening with my ears. We are disconnected from my own body, which totally blocks Selchi from learning movements. Aileen Koo's method is actually the most effective way for Selchi to learn. Visualize the move, imagine doing it, and mimic it. But for someone like me with zero coordination, the problem is what the mental picture in my head has been disconnected from my body's sense of movement for so long. I imagine a perfect swing, but my body can't replicate it. And that's a huge source of frustration. The good news, this isn't a lost course. It's a skill you can totally improve with serious, consistent practice. Now let's go back to the opening sense. Remember how the coach bombarded us with a ton of instructions? Here's the key question. How should we process all those long-winded comments? What's the right way to look at them? The author believes that a coach who bombards you with too many comments isn't a good coach. In Timothy's view, comments aren't the core with coaching. They should return to their essence. The essence of a comment is to guide, not to blindly obey. Otherwise, How can we explain why every sport seems innovations? Why do once popular, absolutely correct technique get broken through? It's not because someone wants to start a new area, but because someone discovers a more suitable way to achieve the goal. Like hitting the ball precisely while causing the most trouble for opponents. When they find the better way, they innovate the sport's technique and kick off a new area. Take a common tennis instruction. Use wrist power when hitting a backhand. But here's the problem. How much power exactly? We all know that if you tense your chest too much, your whole body stiffens. Hitting the rankings feasibility and messing with your power and accuracy. So, how do you understand and apply this common? Timothy's advice is cheesy as a guide, not a rule. When you hear it, start experimenting, try different reach tensions with each backhand swing. Through trial and errors, you find your sweet spot, the tension where your backhand is most aggressive. But here's the key. Everyone's ideal tension is different. Your job is to find your own. A common line, use wrist power on backhands is just a roadside. You still have to work the pad. The exact amount of wrist tension. That's up to you to figure out through trial and error. Another concept that blew my mind is alertness. The author defines it brilliantly in simple terms. Alertness is measured of how many nows you are alert to in a given period of time. Plainly put, alertness means noting how many present moments you can tune into. Our experience of time is made up of countless nows. And being alert means waking up to exactly what's happening to each one. When you are fully present, you enter a flow state. You notice every tiny detail of what's happened and respond perfectly. The book uses a tennis example that really clicked with me. When you focus purely on the ball's position, you enter a relaxed focus. No mental chatter, no daydreaming. You absorb every details. The ball hitting the ground at different speeds, the changing sounds of ringing strike and speed and spin. It's like the ball slow down in front of you. You see all its details, adjust your body and ranking naturally and hit it with perfect timing. That's why in pro matches, players sometimes return impossible shots, even surprising themselves. Perfect says is simple. Full presence lets you see all details, making the impossible shot inevitable. We can apply this idea of alertness in details like too. Cut out useless self-criticism. Focus on what truly matters. Let more details sink into your body and boost the quality of your action and decisions. That's how you transcend yourself in everyday life. After unpacking James like self-2, trusting self-2 and relaxed focus, the author takes it a step further. What's a rival really? How should we relate to competitors? Our answer defines how we understand competition and ultimately our aesthetic state of being. In Tiffany's view, competitors are the enemy blocking our success or stumbling blocks on our life path. On the contrary, they are your best partner. They don't learn to play tennis by practicing focus. We practice what focus is through brain channels. Similarly, why it seems your opponent is hindering your success from the perspective of inner game, it's precisely your competitors' relevantly effort that unleash your full potential. Help you see yourself clearly and let you enjoy the present. In return, you should also go all out to give your opponents the chance to showcase their full potential. Together, you put on a brilliant match. That's all for today's sharing, everyone. See you next time. Bye.